Good morning, dear students. From this lecture, we are going to start credit second, which is based on the anatomy. So, we are studying the botany paper second, morphology and anatomy. So, this paper has been divided into two credits. Credit first for morphology. Now, the credit second, it is based on anatomy. So, morphology, it deals with the external structure or the characters of the plant. To the contrary, anatomy is based on it is defined as the internal structure or organization of the plant body. So the study of internal characters or structures has been carried out in the anatomy. So this credit, which is based on anatomy, consists of 3 chapters. The first chapter is the introductory chapter. So it is the introduction to the anatomy. So in this chapter we will study the definition and the importance of anatomy in the various fields of the botany, such as taxonomy, physiology, ecology, pharmacognosy, in wood identification. So this is all about the chapter 3rd, which is introductory chapter to the anatomy. Now next chapter is the chapter 4th, types of tissue. So in this chapter we are going to study the different types of tissue that are found in the plant. As you know that the higher plants or any living organism is cellular, it is made up of cell and tissue. So different type of tissue that makes the plant body are studied in the chapter 4th, that is the types of tissue. So different types of tissue that has been divided into mainly two types, meristematic tissue and permanent tissue. So meristematic tissue are responsible for the growth of the plant, that is the uniform growth of the plant in height, girth, width. So this is the ability of the meristematic tissue, because of which the uniform and the overall growth of the plant has been carried out. Next type of tissue is the permanent tissue. So permanent tissue has been divided into two types, simple tissue and the complex tissue. So simple tissues are those, for example, parenchyma, collenchyma, chlorenchyma and sclerenchyma, while complex tissue are xylem and phloem. Further, this xylem has been divided into different types of tissue, such as tracheids, vessels, xylem parenchyma, xylem sclerenchyma, while the phloem consist of sieve tubes, companion cells, phloem parenchyma and phloem sclerenchyma. So this is about the complex tissue. In addition to this, we are going to study the tissue on the basis of its function. Some are the epidermal tissue which are present on the epidermis, for example, stomata, trichomes, motor cells. So these are the tissue that are found on the epidermis. Some are the vascular tissue, for example, xylem and phloem. So xylem perform the function of water conduction and transportation, while phloem is responsible for the translocation of the food material from source to sink. Some tissue gives the mechanical support to the plant, for example, sclerenchyma, collenchyma. So that we are also going to study in this chapter, that is the types of tissue. Now the 4th chapter, it is the internal organization of the primary plant body. So here we are going to study the internal structure of the plant organs, such as root, stem and leaf. So plants has been divided into two main types, that is the dicots and monocots, dicotyledons and monocotyledons. So here in the chapter 5 we will going to study the internal structure or the organization of dicot, root, stem and leaf. Similarly, we are also studying the internal organization of monocot, root, stem and leaf. So this is all about regarding the credit second, which is based on the anatomy. Now in this lecture we are going to start the chapter 3rd, that is anatomy. So in this chapter we are studying the introduction to the anatomy, the definition of anatomy, and the importance of anatomy in the various fields of the plant science or the botany. Okay. So as you know that every plant body is cellular, it is composed of cells or tissues organized in a specific way. The plant body of higher plant is multicellular, it is made up of many cells and it is a complex. It is composed of number of organs, that is root, stem, leaves, flowers, fruits and seeds. If you see the primary plant body, it is made up of root, stem and leaf. When plant complete its vegetative growth or the primary growth, start to produce the flowers. So after flower formation, the other organs occur on the plant comprises the fruits and seeds. So this is the life cycle of the plant. After the completion of vegetative growth, plant starts reproductive growth. So formation of the flower is the sign of the initiation of reproductive growth of the plant. So the primary plant body of the higher plant, it is made up of root, stem and leaf. Whatever the plant body of higher plant is multicellular and complex. Each organ consists of specific types of tissues arranged in a particular manner. So these tissue perform a specific function. So function of the organs depends on the specific arrangement of the tissues. Thus this knowledge becomes a tool in identification of organs of the plants as well as plant species. So the knowledge of arrangement of the tissue, different types of tissue that are found, that are produced in the different organs of the plant. So this knowledge becomes a tool in identification of the organs of the plant as well as the plant species. So the knowledge of the anatomy has been used in taxonomy for identification, nomenclature and the classification of the different plant species into different groups. To observe these characters, section cutting or dissection of the plant organ is necessary. The internal structure of the organ changes from juvenile stage to the mature stage. So section cutting or dissection of the plant organs is necessary for the study of the anatomy. So the internal structure, internal organization of the plant body has been studied by sectioning or by the dissection of the particular plant organ. Along with the external characters, that is the morphological characters, internal characters of the plants have prime importance in taxonomic, ecological and tissue culture study. These histological aspects, these are the internal characters, are studied under a branch of botany known as the anatomy. So the histological aspects or the internal structures or the characters of the plants are studied under a branch of botany known as the anatomy. So here we are going to define the anatomy. The study of gross internal structure or characters of the plants and its organs is known as the anatomy. Okay, so anatomy consists of study of gross internal structure or characters of the plant and its organs. So plant organs such as root, stem, leaf, these are the organs of the primary plant body. Now flower, fruit, seeds, these are formed after vegetative growth during the process of reproduction. So the study of gross internal structure or a character of the plant in its organs is known as anatomy. Anatomy is thus the identification and description of the structures of living things or living organism. It is the identification and description of the internal structures of living organisms. The science of studying internal structure of the plant organs by section cutting or dissecting it and understanding the internal structure of the plant is known as plant anatomy. So plant anatomy is the science that study internal structure of the plant organ. How the internal structure of the plant organ has been studied? So by section cutting or dissecting. So the understanding of the internal characters of the plant has been carried out by section cutting and or dissecting. So the science of studying internal structure of the plant organs by section cutting or dissecting it and understanding the internal structures of the plant is known as plant anatomy. Anatomy of plant is also referred to as histology of the plant. So histological aspects are mostly the internal structures or the characters of the plants that are studied in the anatomy, and this is done by section cutting or dissection. Okay, so this is all about the introduction to the anatomy and the definition of the anatomy. Once again I am going to repeat the definition of the anatomy. It may ask for 1 mark in examination. So anatomy is the study of gross internal structure or characters of the plant and its organs. So this is all about the anatomy. Okay, now we are going to study the importance of anatomy in the various or the different fields of the botany. So the first one is the importance of anatomy in taxonomy. So anatomical characters has been used in the taxonomy. So what is the taxonomy? Taxonomy is the lawful arrangement of the plant on the basis of or according to the identification, nomenclature and classification. So the lawful arrangement of the plant has been carried out by identification, nomenclature and classification. So anatomical characters has been used in identification, nomenclature and classification. So this is the importance of anatomy in taxonomy. The anatomical characters such as nature and structure of the hairs that are present on the epidermis, these are also called as the trichomes. Stomata, so stomata, 2 types of stomata we say, it is a dicot stomata, monocot stomata. So on the basis of stomatal structure we can categorize the plant into dicot and monocot, because in monocot the guard cells are dumbbell shape, while in dicots the guard cells are kidney shape. So by studying the shape of the guard cell we can divide the plant into dicot and monocot simply by studying its stomata. Similarly, the epidermal cells, hypodermal region, veins, vascular tissue and medullary rays help in perfect identification of the plant organs as well as the individual plant. So anatomical characters are useful for identification of the plant organs as well as the individual plant species. Anatomy provides evidence concerning the interrelationships of larger taxonomical groups such as family. So to interpret the relation among the different or the larger taxonomy groups such as the family, the anatomy provides the evidences for this. So anatomy, it is concerned with the providing the evidences regarding the interrelationships of larger taxonomy groups such as the family. It provides evidence to establish the real affinities of the genera of uncertain taxonomic status. So here, along with the morphological characters, these anatomical characters provides the evidences to establish the real affinities of the genera of uncertain taxonomic status. The anatomical methods can be used in identification of the herbarium species which do not bear flowers or fruits. So the herbarium, these are the dried flowering twig of the plant that can be preserved for a longer period of time for the study. So this is the one of the laboratory tool for the study of the plant in taxonomy. So anatomical methods can be used in the identification of the herbarium specimens which do not bear flowers or fruits. Anatomical characters such as arrangement of the vascular bundles, presence or absence of secondary growth, nature of mesophyll tissue are also used in separating the plants in taxonomic groups. So different taxonomic groups has been made on the basis of certain anatomical characters such as the arrangement of the vascular bundles. So if you take the example of arrangement of the vascular bundle, in case of monocots, the vascular bundles are conjoined, collateral and closed type. Here the cambium is absent. While in case of dicot, the vascular bundles are conjoined, collateral and open type, means cambium is present. So the cambium has been present in between the xylem and phloem in the vascular bundle, which is responsible for the secondary growth of the plant. So the arrangement of the vascular bundle, whether it is radially arranged, it is collaterally arranged, the presence or absence of the secondary growth, nature of mesophyll tissue are used in separating the plants in different taxonomic groups. And these characters are useful in separating the dicotyledonous plants from monocotyledons. Several types of chemical compounds occur in the plant tissues, and these compounds are supposed to be valuable as indicators of taxonomic affinity. For example, crystals, starch grains, latex, resins, oils, mucilage, tannins, alkaloids. So these are the chemical compounds that are produced by the specific plant tissue in the different organs of the plant, function as one of the valuable indicator of taxonomic affinity. Okay, so these compounds can make the categorization of the different plant species into the different taxonomic group. Okay, for example, the latex that has been produced by the one of the member of Euphorbia, that is Calotropis procera. So this is the particular characteristic of the family family Asclepidaceae. Okay, so this is about the chemical compounds that are produced in the different tissue, forms a valuable indicator for the taxonomic affinity of the different plant species. Types of secondary growth: vascular rays, pitting pattern, growth rings, sieve tubes, nature of parenchyma, sclerenchyma, storage tissues, etc. help to assign the plants to a particular family. In order coniferales, all the families are separated from each other on the basis of pitting pattern, medullary rays, growth rings, presence or absence of pith, resin canals, etc. So these are the anatomical characters or the structures that has been found in the plant, which helps to assign the plants to the particular group or the family. So this is the importance of the anatomy in taxonomy. So this is all for today. The other importance of the anatomy in the various fields of the botany we will study in the next lecture. Thank you. Stay home, be safe.